Hello and welcome to our first episode of WP Perspective. I'm Brooke Rockman and I'm joined with my wonderful co-host, Laura Madera and Adrian Diaz. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Brooke. How are you?
I'm very well. So we have an amazing show for you guys today. We'll get on the update on entertainment and sports, followed by our debate segment called Devil's Advocate, and later a look at the weather. But first, let's see what's poppin' on the poppin' topic.
Poppin'. What's poppin', Brooke?
What is poppin', Miss Madura?
You tell me.
So we're going to talk about free community college. Obama wants to initiate this. Is this a step in the right direction?
I strongly believe it is a step in the right direction, and the more I read about it, the more I have questions about it. You know, will it work the way that they have designed for it to work?
Well, I personally don't think anything really works in the way anything is designed to work. Theoretically, everyone wishes it will come out the way they want, but realistically, I just don't think it will.
I mean, if this bill passes, it has the potential to, you know, benefit the lives of so many students because
didn't we read a quote saying that it can benefit about 9 million students?
If it passes, about 9 million students, if it's passed throughout all 50 states. And it's also really good because it covers a lot of the gaps that financial aid doesn't cover. I work at a community college in the financial aid office, and one of the things that financial aid doesn't cover is, for example, certificate programs. And a lot of students in community colleges get certificate programs, and
So let me interrupt you there. For our viewers who don't know what a certificate program is, Laura, can you explain further?
It's like a 1-year technical.
So kind of like a trade school, a tech school.
Like, you know how associates are 2 years, a bachelor's are 4 years, a certificate it's usually 1 year, 2 semesters. Okay. So it would cover that, and you are only required to be a part-time student to get covered by Obama's plan,
which is wonderful because many students that go to community college, 60% of community college students
are part-timers.
And the average community college student is 28 years old.
And what I do have a little issue with is that the GPA is only has to be a 2.5. I think that if you're going to get so much help to go to school, you can at least try to, at least do better. But whatever, if it works, it works, and it has. You know, it can help a lot of students, especially non-traditional students, which are the ones that aren't necessarily the 18, 19-year-olds that just are fresh out of high school and are now coming to community colleges.
So speaking about students, let's talk about what's happening to our students here on campus. So William Patterson, we were supposed to have graduation in May at the Izod Center. However, because the Izod Center is closing down, we're switching to the Prudential Center. Do you have any thoughts about that?
I've never been to the Prudential Center. I went to the Izod Center for my commencement from community college. So I thought it was great. It was spacious, and we had a lot of students there graduating. So I have no idea what the Prudential's like. I don't really care as long as commencement goes well and my family fits. I think that's all that matters.
You. However, I've been to both for events like graduations and also concerts, and I went to Prudential for my brother's graduation, and thankfully we had my nonna, which is my grandmother in Italian if you don't know. We had my nonna there, and because she was handicapped, we got all the space we wanted. However, when we went there for a concert without my nonna, sadly, I am a 5'9" framed girl, and the seating was just too squeezed together. I was so squished.
So what you're saying is I should bring my abuela?
Yes, bring your abuela. So, well, you'll be in the seating anyway. You'll be down there, but you're free.
I'll bring my abuela so my family can fit.
Tu familia will be muy contento.
Yes, okay.
So, talking more about colleges, did you hear about what happened at the University of Oklahoma?
I did.
So
the
Sigma Alpha Epsilon fraternity got caught saying very racist slurs in a chant that they used to say. So what are your feelings about this?
I think it was I agree with what the fraternity, the actual fraternity, the society came out and they released a statement saying that they were completely disgusted by what happened at the University of Oklahoma. Oklahoma University.
Yeah.
And
University of Oklahoma.
Yeah, and they closed the chapter at that school. And they suspended the students that were in the video. And I think I agree with them because, you know, it's a lot of their members are from different backgrounds and ethnicities, and for them to target a population of their members in that way is wrong. And just in general, even people that aren't a part of the association. We're in 2015. Are you really making racist chants right now?
I know, and it's such a diverse school that it was very disheartening for me to see that. I mean, William Patterson is a very diverse school too, and I would be not only mortified but distraught if a fraternity or sorority said something like that.
And you know what? That specific university has been in the news before for things like racism, so I wasn't that surprised.
Yeah. Well, that's what's poppin' on the poppin' train for our topics. When we come back, we'll see what's going on in the entertainment world, followed by sports, and later we'll do something that we like to call Devil's Advocate. And we have a sneak peek at the forecast. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
Welcome back to our first episode of WP Perspective. Now, for all of your entertainment needs, let's talk to the woman who knows it all, Miss Laura Madera.
Thanks, Brooke. First off, let's take a look at the Hollywood Minute with Mary Mueller. Then, we'll see what's making splashes in the box office.
It took a comedian to crack Edward Snowden. HBO's John Oliver interviewed Edward Snowden, the NSA whistleblower who's been hiding in Russia, and he didn't pull any punches.
How many of those documents have you actually read?
Well, I do understand what I turned over.
Because when you're handing over thousands of NSA documents, the last thing you want to do is read them.
But the two didn't just talk secrets. On Last Week Tonight, Snowden admitted he misses American life.
I miss Hot Pockets.
Okay, the entire state of Florida. Let's just let that silence hang in the air.
It's a Date. Diane Sawyer's exclusive sit-down with Bruce Jenner will air in prime time. Many expect the Olympian to talk about his reported transitioning to a woman. Jenner and ABC are staying quiet. The interview airs on April 24th. Sam Worthington is making sure his baby goes intergalactic. The Avatar star and Laura Bingle have reportedly named their son Rocket Zot. The model tweeted, "Zot is a nod to her late father." For Hollywood Minute, I'm Mary Mueller.
Back to the box office, where Chappie came in on top. Director Neil Blomkamp directed the 2013 film Elysium, and more notably, District 9 back in 2009. Here's a little clip from Chappie.
Chappie, if you want to be in the gang, you have to be cool, like Daddy. Look how Daddy walks. Look how cool he is. You need to keep a gangster.
Need to keep a gangster.
Yeah, you need to be cool.
Don't laugh, I'm being cool.
Cool. Even when you pull a gun, you have to be cool like this. Boom! Now you try.
No, I can't shoot people.
What?
I can't shoot them, they didn't do anything to me.
How are you going to do the heist with us if you don't shoot people?
I can't do a heist. Heist is a crime. I promised.
Yeah, it's okay. Hey, let's worry about that later, okay? I got this, all right? You. If somebody really disrespects you, you can deal with them without using a gun.
What is it, Daddy?
Real gangsters use this.
That looks awesome, but why does that guy call himself Daddy?
I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of those throwing stars, please. And anyway, that's what's going on with movies. But what's making ripples on records? Here's the top 10 songs for this week. Uptown Funk still reigns as #1 and has yet to be overthrown. Ed Sheeran's Thinking Out Loud still has a tight grasp on second. Maroon 5's Sugar moved up to third, while Ellie Goulding's Love Me Like You Do dropped down to 4. Can I just say I love Ellie Goulding's Love Me Like You Do? 4 or 5 Seconds by the power team of Rihanna, Kanye, and Paul took over Hozier's Take Me to Church, number 5 spot, and pushed them down to 6. Taylor Swift's Style overcame her Blank Space. The two songs swap positions with Style now number 7 and Blank Space number 8. Earned It by The Weeknd and From 50 Shades of Grey is bound in the number 9 spot, while Pitbull and Ne-Yo knocked Meghan Trainor's Lips Are Moving out of the 10th spot with Time of Our Lives.
No, I love My Lips Are Moving.
My lips are moving. No, but really, Ellie Goulding's song, I think, should be number 1 because it's just so catchy.
I'm kind of sick of Uptown Funk, but I love Thinking Out Loud.
And it's funny how Taylor Swift, like, just...
Yeah, she just flip-flopped herself.
Yeah.
So.
But I think all the top songs right now are really catchy, so...
I do too.
It's doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do too.
And that leaves left TV. Is there anything good on? Besides our show, of course, but the number 1 show on the IDBM list is House of Cards, a Netflix original series starring Kevin Spacey. House of Cards is a political drama about a congressman who works with his equally conniving wife to exact revenge on the people who betrayed him, one of those people being the president.
Do you watch that show?
I don't, but everyone that I know that does is obsessed.
Oh, I watch it. I keep falling asleep during season 3, though, not because it's not good, because it's amazing. I'm just too tired.
Anyway, and at number 2 is The Walking Dead, in which Sheriff's Deputy Rick Grimes, played by Andrew Lincoln, leads a group of survivors in a world overrun by zombies. Number 3 is Game of Thrones, in which several noble families fight for control of the mythical land of Westeros, a place where ghouls migrate down from the snowy north and dragons pack some serious firepower. Wow. At number 4 is The Last Man on Earth. Now, who would have guessed it's about The Last Man on Earth? It's a new single-camera comedy about the last man on Earth, starring Will Forte. And finally, at number 5, Arrow, starring Stephen Amell as Oliver Queen, a spoiled billionaire playboy who is presumed dead when his yacht is lost at sea. However, he returns 5 years later, a changed man who is determined to clean up the city as a hooded vigilante armed with a bow.
So kind of like Robin Hood?
Yeah. But
have you seen him though? He is a good-looking man.
He looks all right.
Well, I like him.
And that's all that's happening in entertainment today.
Thanks, Laura. When we come back, we'll have an update on the sports world, followed by our Devil's Advocate, and later, a look at the weather. Don't switch that channel. We'll be right back.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hello and welcome back to WP's Perspective. I'm Adrian Diaz, and along here with Greg Blas, we're going to be talking to you a little bit about what's going on in the sports world. So we're going to start a little bit off with what's going on in the game against Wisconsin. You know, we had a little bit of the college basketball, and in the Final Four, they came down to Kentucky and Wisconsin and Michigan, right? And you know, then it was Duke, and then Wisconsin faced off against Kentucky, and that they finished off. What was it? 71-64. Unbelievable game right there.
I mean, yes, Wisconsin's a good team, but I was still shocked to beat Kentucky, being that Kentucky came into game undefeated.
I was shocked because you see Wisconsin, you see them, and you're wondering how can they get beat, because they were the undefeated team coming in, and they just show off, and Wisconsin just says, all right, you know what? Never mind. We're just going to beat you right there.
I know, it's amazing. They have like 9 or 10 future NBA players on that roster right now. 7 of them just declared for the draft yesterday. So.
Yeah, no, Willie Cauley-Stein, you got Towns. I mean, they got a lot of talent there that is just one and dones. I mean, we hear it all the time, but
I mean, 4 of them have a chance to go in the lottery. Towns, possible number 1. Cauley-Stein's going to be a high pick. And Lyles and Booker could slip into the lottery.
What was it for you that sealed the deal for Wisconsin?
Their size. And Kentucky, late in the game, managed the clock poorly. They went to a stall offense instead of keep going. They took too many outside shots. They didn't feed Towns enough in post. We saw Towns in the Notre Dame game. He was unstoppable. He destroyed Zach August.
Yeah, and then over in the Michigan-Duke game, I mean, Michigan came so close.
I mean, they got hot
But
early,
then-
Duke
then-
all of a sudden just ran away with it.
I don't understand that. And it seemed to me like Duke kind of just maybe either played with them a little bit and then they just let Jahlil Okafor just take the floor. But I don't know. It seemed like Duke just let it go a little bit early on and then they just wanted to take it over. I don't know what was it for you that I couldn't understand that game at all. I didn't understand why Michigan just lost it out in that game.
Well,
Because the second half was all
started
that.
hot. He hit his first 3 threes. Then after that, he got cold. Duke really played tough defense. They got to Okafor. Winslow, as we said, one of the best two-way players in the game. Quinn Cook had a great game. And Grayson Allen, he's the breakout star of the Final Four. Not only did he play good against Michigan State, but 16 points against Wisconsin in the championship.
Yeah, no, that championship game was probably one of the best championship games I've seen in the last decade.
It was down to wire almost. With the only thing clouding it is the controversial Winslow call. The ball seemed to have hit his middle finger on the replay, but
They had so many arguments about it. I mean, one of the head referees came on in the radio, I think on ESPN, and he said how they didn't see the angle from the CBS broadcast. And then the other head of officiating, another guy, said, "Oh no, we actually did hear. We did have the official call, like the official video. So what's the real word? Like somebody's saying that they didn't have it, somebody's saying that they didn't. So what's really like going on there?"
I mean, it looked like it was cut and dry, but just take away the bad calls. Grayson Allen, like I said, breakout star, and Tyus Jones was clutch down the stretch.
To me, it seemed like they were really, they seemed to force Wisconsin to the inside game, and Wisconsin just couldn't finish the inside anywhere in the late part of the second half because look,
they should have taken advantage of the fact that Okafor is in foul trouble. They should have got low. They should have drove. Okafor is not the best defensive player anyway, so.
Yeah. All right, so let's shift a little bit over into the baseball now, because baseball had the opening days this week, you know. Yankees got a little start this week. They didn't really, seal the deal early in the first game, but they did make up for it later this week. You know, they did get some. They did
get one win, but I'm still worried about the first game. I did not like what I saw from Tanaka. It makes you wonder if he should have got the surgery instead of trying to rehab on his own.
I mean, Tanaka, first game out, you see him hitting in the throwing in the low 90s. Mm-hmm. Then you see him getting out in the fourth inning because he suddenly they let up 4 runs and then they had to put in another pitcher later in. I mean, only lasting 4 innings, and then that's his only game so far. I mean, the second game was the Blue Jays. Then they had Pineda start, right?
Yeah, Pineda looked good. 6 innings, 2 runs, quality start.
Pineda looked really good, sort of. I thought he was going to get the start, at least going into the home opener. So I was a little bit surprised that he wasn't put instead of Tanaka because of the fact of the whole elbow thing. We're not sure if he's going to get Tommy John or not. I mean, it seems like they just don't really know what to do right now as a team.
No, because Tanaka, I mean, like, he could throw 1 pitch and that could be his season. And CC Sabathia, like, he looks like he's through. I mean, they were hoping he could rebound this year, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'm looking forward to seeing Eovaldi tonight. He looked good in spring training. He has electric stuff. I think he could be a good pitcher.
A-Rod looks like he could be also the next star because, look, he's getting in there,
I'm
too.
a little surprised by A-Rod. Pleasantly surprised, actually. Hit a home run yesterday. He got one of our few hits on open day.
Yeah, no, that is exactly right. You know, thank you, Greg, very much for stopping by and talking with us about a little bit of the sports. We're going to take a little quick break, and when we come back, we'll be having our debate about a debate segment and the weather. So stay tuned.
Do your part. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank today.
Welcome back to our Devil's Advocate debate. I'm your host, Brooke Rockman. Here with me is our in-house Lucifina for the day, Laura Madera. Today, we'll be talking about the drinking age. Should it be lowered or not? Should it be lowered to 18 years old, I should say?
I think Why not? It should, because there's so many things that one can do at 18. They have the responsibility and the right to vote. They can get married. They can sign contracts. They can join the military, which is risking one's life. So what is it about drinking that it has to be 21? They can smoke cigarettes.
Because it's not a right, Laura.
It doesn't matter. There's so many other things that they can do.
Yeah, but okay, let me give you some...
If you can smoke at 18, I'm sure you can drink at 18.
Let me give you some statistics. So,
tell me, Brooke.
So, drinking alcohol is not a fundamental right that's guaranteed by the Constitution. It's not a right. It's not a right. You don't earn it.
I know, but it has nothing to do with it being a right because they can smoke. The point is they're making these laws and these rules that take up a lot of time and take up a lot of money from the institutions that have to enforce it, like, you know.
However, the drinking age can prevent highway crashes and rational basis in available scientific evidence. There's a sense of maturity, mental maturity. At 18, you're not mature enough to handle certain things. I don't even think you should be able to vote at 18. Kids are just graduating.
I know,
high
but so
school.
are they going to change that? Are they going to raise the voting age? They're not.
I don't know, but that's not really the issue at hand here. I just wanted to make an example saying that kids aren't old enough to be able to make decisions of drinking. And imagine if an 18-year-old goes into a bar, they don't know their limit, they don't know how to do certain things because they haven't experienced enough life yet that, say, a 21-year-old has or older to know their limits, to know what situations they will get into.
Yet, the highest number of car accidents is in the age range of newly drinking. The people that are 21 to 24, when they first get to the age where they can start drinking, the car accidents are usually within that age range, and I can see how it's correlated to drinking. Okay, but it has nothing to do with the age. It's just that a whole bunch of people they were able to drink, so now they're having these car accidents, and there's other ways to handle that, like with education on how to properly drink if you're going to drink, how, you know, and avoid these accidents versus just saying that you should be 21 to drink. There's other countries where it's not such a big deal.
Well, I understand that, but even the MLDA 21 states that you should not be lowered to mirror European drinking age limits because the rate of drinking among the U.S. teenagers is lower than most European countries. So my mother was born in Italy and raised in France, and even though she was drinking at the age of 13, it was responsible because it was a glass of wine at dinner. So they know how to drink in another country because they don't abuse that right, let's say, in Europe. Americans, for some reason, like, children just don't know how to act when they are intoxicated, let's say, or anything like that. Europeans, I have seen firsthand, just know their limits more because they start at a younger age. However, it's because it's initiated in the family. It's not behind the parents' backs.
That's a culture thing, and it has nothing to do with the age. I think it takes education because the age has been turned into 21 when no one wanted it really to be 21. It's seen as this. There's a thrill of breaking the law because, let's face it, people aren't waiting. Not many people are waiting to 21 to drink. They're getting fake IDs, which is against the law. They are going to frat parties. They're going to house parties, and they're drinking anyway. They're getting other people to buy drinks for them, which is also, I think, illegal.
However, but it's medically irresponsible. Alcohol consumption, if you lower the age to 18, it states here that alcohol consumption can interfere with the development of young adults' brain and the frontal lobes. So do you want something to happen to a growing teenager because they just want to drink, or can we just postpone it a couple years and then they can drink all they want?
I think they should be able to make that decision for themselves the same way that they can decide to get married, to vote, to enlist in the military. It's not about that I want them to drink at 18. It's about that I think they should have the right just like everyone else. And there's so many other things that they can decide. Why not that? And if you are at home, if you are taught what is right and what is wrong and what is responsible drinking, you're not going to have a problem. I'm sure culture has a lot to do with this. I come from a different culture where the drinking age is 18, and I can assure you no one waits till 18 to drink. Most of us are having drinks at 13, but it's all about how you're raised and what you're taught. So whether you're 18 or you're 21, if no one teaches you how to do something properly, you're probably going to mess up.
Yeah. Well, something interesting before we wrap up. Did you know that the American public overwhelmingly supports the drinking age to be 21 and not 18, and they do not want the drinking age to be lowered?
I think
that should say something.
Yeah, but I think it's more of a divide because there's something in Americans that they want to shelter their children a lot.
Yeah.
And that's why compared to other countries, Americans here, like sons and daughters of Americans, don't leave their home till they're much older compared to other countries. They become independent later in life.
Okay.
So,
well, Lucifina, thank you for playing devil's advocate with us and arguing with me. When we come back, we'll have an update on the weather. Stay tuned.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Some wild weather in the eastern states yesterday. That's left. Still some rain in New England and some showers elsewhere. Things are going to be kind of topsy-turvy, though, in the east and Midwest over the course of the next couple of days. I'm AccuWeather.com's Evan Myers, and what we have to start out today is it's still actually along the I-95 corridor from Connecticut all the way down to New York and Philly and Baltimore and Washington and down toward Richmond southward. Actually not too bad of a day. Still some rain departing through New England as the storm system that brought some really horrendous thunderstorms in the eastern states. A lot of hail, heavy rain, some places picking up a couple of inches of rain in just an hour, some flooding problems. That's leaving. And in its wake, what we're going to see are some showers scattered about near the Great Lakes, not only in New York and Pennsylvania and Ohio, but across Michigan and Wisconsin. Tomorrow, what we're going to see is the jet stream dip a little bit farther south. However, it's still going to remain relatively mild along the eastern seaboard, and we're going to get another shot of chilly air come down in this northwesterly flow. And ahead of that chilly air, we may actually see a few gusty thunderstorms here along the I-95 corridor, anywhere from Boston to New York all the way down into the Washington area. So that's something tomorrow afternoon to be on the lookout for. I don't really suspect that it'll be severe, but there could be some small hail. That is a possibility tomorrow afternoon to be on the lookout for. Once all that moves by, cold air will come plunging in, and we talk about the gusty storms up above. We also talk about some snow. And, it's April, and to get some snow in the upper peninsula of Michigan, not all that unusual, but look what happens on Wednesday night and into Thursday as that cold air really takes hold. We do see that there's the possibility of some snow showers, some snow flakes, maybe an inch or two on some of the ridgetops across Pennsylvania and New York State, up here in the Adirondacks, in ski country in Vermont, although the ski area is now closed. I was there this past weekend. My daughter actually went skiing in the last weekend at Stowe this weekend for a few hours. So that happened, and it's going to stay cold, but for the most part, not enough snow to really allow you to do any skiing up there, but certainly cold, and we're all waiting for warmer weather, so when's it going to happen? Well, let's step through some of the temperatures here. You can see 60s and 50s through the Northeast today. It doesn't change too much tomorrow, though. You can see right here it tries to warm up a little bit along the eastern seaboard ahead of this cold air that's going to be moving in, and there it is. Look at that. Temperatures in the 40s. It's not something that we like to see, or at least I don't like to see this time of the year. I want it to be warmer. It is spring, and that will come, but not for a couple of days. In fact, it's probably going to stay with temperatures below normal right into the start of the weekend, but we'll follow it all here for you at AccuWeather.com.
Well, that about wraps up WP Perspective's first show. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place. And remember, William Patterson Perspective is everything. Thanks for tuning in.